In this video, we're going to take a look at using some of the arithmetic functions inside of SQL. And a good option for us is to play with the salaries table here. So if I come in here, just a quick feature in MySQL Workbench, I can come in here and take a look at info. And this gives me data on the table, but I want to look at the columns. And here I have the salary declared as an integer and 11 positions of an integer, which is a number, but there's no decimal on it. So I'm going to go ahead and close that, and let's do a select, and we can come in here and also expand out so we can see the columns there. Select salary. And just as a quick reminder, the select statement, the syntax is actually case insensitive, in case you're wondering. I can come in, run that, and now we get all the salaries here. And what happens a lot in many systems, it's fairly common for that decimal to be implied. So if I do we'll do a select star here just so we can see the whole table. Now we can see the salary of 601.17. This is from back in 1986. So this is some old data that was generated. That seems pretty generous. So that's a fairly large number. So I don't think that is a weekly salary. I'm guessing that there's an implied decimal point there. So I can let's do, and we can do the multiply operator. I'm going to do .01, saying that we have an implied decimal there. And I'm going to say that as weekly. And now when I run that, that seems like a much more reasonable weekly salary value in $1986. Now let's take a closer look at some of the math operations here. So I'm going to do salary and just run that again so we can see the result. So what I want to do here, spell salary, right? So just as see down here at the bottom, I got an error code 1504 unknown column salary. So I fat fingered salary, so it should be with an A. And then let's go ahead and run that now. So that gives me the desired result. So what I want to do is list out the original value of it. So now I have weekly. Let's go ahead and calculate monthly. So I'm going to multiply that by 0.01. And then also times 4 for 4 weeks in a month. We won't get too precise as monthly. So let's go ahead and run that. So now I have a monthly value. And we could even do yearly. So now we can see some yearly salaries here as well. So this is good, but let's take a look at some of the precedents. So let's say I come in here and do salary plus 200 times 0.01. Let's go ahead and run that and see the result. So what's happening here in this multiply first column, the way the math is working out, so we're taking salary, and effectively what's happening is we are taking 200 times 0.01, which gives us 2, and then that gets added to salary. So you can see how it went from 60,117 to 60,119. So that might not be our intention there. So what we can do is copy this, and we'll just do this. And let's change this to add first. And we can use parentheses. So now we're going to say, I want you to add 200 to salary, then multiply it by 0.01. So this is going to change the order of operations. So let's go ahead and run this again. And we can see now we have a much different result than before. That's because we are taking the salary value, the 60,117, adding 200 to it, and then applying it by 0.01. So this is important to remember, because if you don't understand the precedence of operations here, you can get some very, very unintended results in your math when you're doing SQL reports. Now let's take another look at a couple of other operators. So we can also do salary times 0.01 divided by 7, and call that our daily salary. So you can see that works out to $85 a day. So that seems accurate for a daily salary of $600. So that works out to about $85 a day. So that shows you how these are all getting evaluated basically left to right in sequence. Now we also have the div operator. Go ahead and run that. Oh, got it. You can see I have an error. And what happened, we get this little red box and it got a squiggly here. We can actually go here and hit that comma because I was missing a comma there. Let's go ahead and run that again. Now that gives us the divisor, and also so I'll take a quick look at that other operator. So that gives us the mod. So just a variety of functions that you can use. Now you are going to be using these quite frequently in SQL, summarizing numbers. I just showed you how we can operate on these internally to come up with, to manipulate the data. You're going to be using this a lot in SQL as far as doing math. So you're going to be doing salary reports and coming up with like monthly numbers and stuff. So very important to have a solid understanding of this. I highly recommend you take a little bit, experiment with it, and get comfortable using these operators with SQL.